Today we're going to talk about metacognition. Metacognition is thinking about thinking. When we want to teach students how to comprehend things, how to learn better, we try to teach them different techniques that help them understand their learning process. One of the things we'll talk about today is visualizing and vocalizing. Let me say that one more time. Visualizing and vocalizing. Visualizing and vocalizing is getting students to read content. It can be math content, social studies, history, science. It works across all subject areas. So when students look at things, you want them to ask questions like, what does it look like? So if we were looking at this in your mind, what would you see? So if we were reading a story about Cat in the Hat, they may say, well, I see a large cat playing with some kids, maybe playing with the fish, having a giant box. And we say, well, that's good. So what do you think it would sound like if you were there with the Cat in the Hat? They may say loud, noisy. Then you may say, well, what would it smell like if you were there? Like, what kind of things do you think you would smell? Maybe they would say the fish bowl. Maybe because it was raining in the story, they may say, I smell rain. So the reason we want to ask these questions is eventually we want students to be able to ask these same questions internally. These questions help them use all parts of their imagination, which we use the left side of our brain for imagination, and we use the right side of our brain for concepts that are more concrete. Reading, math, social studies, these tend to be concrete subjects. But we want the students to learn to use both sides of their brains, which means they create more synapses, which means that they will become better at learning. These things will be easier to remember because now they've made multiple connections to the content. So that is today what we're going to talk about, metacognition. Thank you for tuning in.